Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is December 8th, 2021, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, we're watching the Dow Jones continue to gain back some real estate that it lost at 35,800 points. It's only about 600 to 700 points off of its all-time highs. But first, looking at the major economic events of the day, at 5 p.m. South African time, out of Canada, we have a Bank of Canada rate statement. That's an interest rate statement coming out of Canada. So if you are trading the Canadian dollar, you do want to know about it. Now, as we go through the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the Australian dollar continues to rebound, while the euro and the GBP kind of trading sideways. Now looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ continue to gain. As we look at commodities, gold pretty much unchanged, and oil tapers off after its nice gain. Now looking at the stocks, it's really the FAANG stocks that continue to rally the market. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, continues to be steady. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're going to first take a look at the Aussie US Data 4-hour chart, and this is really where it's at. This is an important level. This is where we broke the range and broke really the moving average, the 30-day moving average, and we actually closed above it. So the upper limit here is 71.61. So that's as close as I think that we'll get here. I do believe we'll test these lows again. Might not be until next month as we go into 2022, but that is something to consider as we're going into here. Now looking at the Canadian dollar as well, because this has really been going to be in the news today. We watch the Canadian dollar actually diminish in value, okay? Because when we go from 123 up to 128 versus the USD, it means the Canadian dollar is getting weaker. Now, it did take this nosedive and got stronger versus the USD, and that's really just the reaction of what's happening in the Dow Jones. And so we're right now at 126, but giving a perspective of where we're at that top of that range. Look at that beautiful range that we got here, okay, that we sold off at that 128-ish level. This is what I'm talking about. So we're right now at support-ish area. So this is the range I'm talking about. So I do expect some sort of bounce today when we're looking at the Canadian dollar. Now jumping into the commodities, nothing happening in gold. I'm not going to cover it because really nothing happening with gold. But looking at crude oil, we're tapering off here and we're crossing that 8-day moving average. Not a big deal. Okay, but after gaining so much, it's understood, right? This is the resistance-ish area that we had before. So that is something to consider right now. As we taper off, we may taper off somewhere into the 69-ish level. Now looking at the big board, looking at first the Dow Jones, we did gain quite nicely to 35,800. Okay, that's a massive rally that we had from last week to this week. I mean, that's almost 2,000 points where we sold off quite aggressively, and then we, took a big hit upwards, and now we're tapering off to 35,700-ish level. Okay, so that's where we are right now. So just consider it. Okay, I do want to see some follow through in the markets. I don't see that Apple is on all-time highs. We're going to take a look at that, but we do see a little bit of a rebound here, and that's understood. Okay, if we look at the Dow and the NASDAQ, also at the top of its range at 16,114-ish level. Okay, that's where we're up on this area, 414-ish level. Excuse me. So that's the resistance that we're at right now. Now let's take a look at the individual stocks. Apple close to its all-time highs. On all-time highs. That's an important move. So that may mean that the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ will still make highs, okay? If the Apple stock is able to take us higher and able to bring the rest of the market higher. Now looking at Facebook, that's another one that we have to look at, okay? Because it did gap up. It just needs to sustain itself, right? It's at 320 right now, but it does need to continue getting stronger. Microsoft also back to its 333, but not breaking out higher, okay? Amazon did get a little bit stronger, but not strong enough. If we look at Tesla as well, did get that bounce, but nothing major. And Elon Musk is selling some stock in Tesla. So that's an important piece of information there as well. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, we bounce. We're above 50K. It's steady. Nothing doing much here. Okay, there's not massive kind of buying, but there's not massive kind of selling either. I would wait this out to see how much further it's going to go. If it does pick up some momentum above 52,000, I would think about getting long it. So a lot of things still happening in the markets as we're going into Christmas season and the end of the year of 2021. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.